Hey guys, so what is it that you should do when you feel burnt out at Pearl Lemon? So let's just talk about this in general. So I just want to highlight a couple of things that I think are important for when you do feel burnt out. Ignore these at the bottom, by the way, the 17 strategies. We're not using them. So the first thing is to, you know, take a moment. So take a moment morning few hours off. Okay, that's one thing you can do. Two, get advice from long, let's call them serving members of the Pearl Lemon family. So, whoever's been here for more than 1 year, I would recommend asking them about, what you could do when you feel burnt out at Pearl Lemon. So take a moment, more than a few hours off, get advice from long-standing members of the Pearl Lemon family. I mean, these things that you could, I mean, that one you could do first. Um, to try to understand why you're feeling burnt out. Okay. Um, Sorry guys, my cat is going crazy. One sec. Yeah, so you can try to understand why you're feeling burnt out, and questions, sub questions within that. Is it truly PL related? Is it personal life? Is it just a crunch time moment? So that could mean that there's a specific project that you need to work additional hours for. There's a specific project that just takes you way more time than you envisioned, um, and that it's something that you've taken upon yourself. So the question we're really asking here is it temporary or permanent? If you have a permanent state of feeling burnt out of Pearl Lemon, then that's just not going to work at all, right? It's going to be terrible. So you want to understand if it's just something that's going to pass. So that's just definitely something. Number two is definitely something that with investigation might mean this question just might go away all by itself. If you just understand why you're feeling burnt out. Is it to do with work at Pearl Lemon? Is it something in your personal life? Is it a crunch time moment? So the other thing is understanding, and again, I guess these are in no particular order. Is it just part of your personal professional growth? So, is this just part of your actual overall development? So it could be a stretch zone, if that makes sense. Stretch zone meaning that it's about you doing something or a level of work or level of responsibility you've never taken on before, and therefore you will just adjust, much like taking a new route to work, much like running an extra mile each day after work, things like that. Where there's an adjustment to the usual typical routine and more is being asked of you. So there's some things that you can consider. And if all of that doesn't work, then again you go back to number one. I think you should do number one initially and go back to number one, but for a longer period. Okay, so go back to number one for a longer period. Instead of morning, take a couple of days off. Take a whole day off. So there might be more strategies that kind of relate, and you could get them indeed from um, number three when you get advice from someone in the Pearl Lemon family. They could definitely give you some more insights on this, but these are the things that you should do when you feel burnt out. Not assuming that you've just been given more work. In which case, if you are being given let's say too much work in your view or something like that, then six, you can ask for less work, right? But burnt out is when you're overworked and it's typically a temporary state. So asking for less work, I'd say, is a bit of an outside thing just because it's something that's separate. That would be if it's permanent. If you're constantly feeling burnt out, you have too much work, then you should ask for less work, or find a way to be more effective with the time that you have. So that's, something that you could also, I guess, consider. Can you be more effective? Oh, effective with the time you have, and that could be a question of productivity, speeding up your computer, learning keyboard shortcuts, learning the correct Chrome plugins, being more decisive, using Pomodoros. There's lots of different options that you can employ. So there you go, guys. They are the 7 strategies to employ when you feel burnt out.